$49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a bad compressor or leaking refrigerant, give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490. AL certain number 21014.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed mold, mildew, bowing walls, or water in your basement? I hope not, but if you have, your basement is losing the war against groundwater. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job.
Licensed in all states where work is
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama.
Alabama!
Your home of the Crimson Tide Sports Network.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Bills running back James Cook is expected to practice today, and things have changed regarding his contract stalemate, according to Coach Sean McDermott. McDermott added it's too early to answer whether Cook's training camp holding is over and emphasized the team has had good conversations with him. Cook refused to play in Saturday's preseason opener. As the hold-in of longtime Steelers defensive captain Cam Hayward continues, he says he's not ruling out holding out to start the regular season if his contract dispute is not settled. In his first public comment since his hold-in and contract request was reported, Hayward strongly suggested he'd be willing to miss regular season games as he seeks to renegotiate the extension he signed last year. Baseball, Astros awaiting test results on All-Star closer Josh Hader. He was sent for testing after experiencing shoulder discomfort.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement. It's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Looking deep downfield, looking for Williams. Comes back, makes the catch, trying to split defenders, makes them bang into each other, stays on his feet, breaks a tackle, scores! Ryan Williams, one play, 75 yards.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Talking Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Hello and welcome in to the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk, 2 hours straight of sports talk here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, as well as ESPN Winchester. We got you guys until 10, so make sure you guys take advantage of the phone lines, 256-576-97.7. That is Joe Hunk alongside me, as well as Brody over in the production room running the show, flipping all the buttons and all that special stuff, and answering the phone calls for this wonderful Tuesday morning here in No Man's Land. Look, Joe, we got a lot of fun things to hop into today. We got a new guest to get with as well, which will be a lot of fun. Mike Rodak from Bama 247 is going to be joining us in the next segment. But I did want to start off with something interesting.
Oh, okay, so before you do that, I just need to throw out a PSA really fast.
That's okay, a PSA. We usually tell them to cut those, but okay, continue.
Huntsville Utilities, answer the phone!
I haven't had the problem with them yet.
Answer the phone, Huntsville Utilities!
You heard him, guys. He's not joking. He's not joking. I walked in this morning and I heard static, all right?
No. I recorded it so I could send it to my wife. Wow. This is what I've had to listen to for the last 45 minutes. Let's see here. Hold on. Let's see if I can get it.
See what this audio sounded like.
Oh, no, hold on.
Turn up the audio.
The audio is
Did you screen capture? Did you make sure the setting was on to where it captures the audio too?
It sounded like a static, and it's in and out. And then they go, 29 minutes.
I was like, Joe, even if they do pick up the phone, it's still probably going to sound like that.
No, well, I was hoping
didn't pay their national utility.
I was hoping that once they picked up the phone, that was just the recording stuff. See, here's what happened. For anybody, obviously, a lot of people in the Tennessee Valley that's having to deal with this right now, Huntsville Utilities has swapped over to an entirely brand new system. They were smart enough to choose to do this the last 2 days of the month in July, all the way through yesterday.
Gotcha.
So nobody could pay their bill unless you called and had to give all of your information for routing numbers and all this other stuff, just so they could do a one-time draft. So today's the day that everybody that still needs to pay their bill for the month of July is trying to do it. Their new website, everything, none of it works. They give you have all these account numbers, and you're supposed to be able to. I literally copied and pasted my account number to the email that they sent to me, and it says none of the information is correct. And I'm like, I know how to spell my name. I know my email because you sent me the email.
Oh, okay.
And I know the account number because I'm the one that copied and pasted from the email you sent me.
Interesting. Yeah, it's not giving me the ability to just auto sign in with my information.
No, it's a whole new service.
Look, Huntsville Utilities typically does a great job.
And I can totally say this just because it's not like we can go to another utility company and not like they can just cut us off.
So I mean,
hey,
it's Huntsville's Utilities. Look, they usually do a wonderful job. Hopefully they'll get this figured out soon enough because I don't want to dog on them. But this is something that you can't really mess
absolutely.
up.
And also at the exact same time, why did you not do this the middle of the month when nobody's really having to pay their bills?
I paid my bill.
Why did you wait to do this at the end in the beginning of the month? Answer the phone.
Do better.
Okay, now we can talk about what you need to.
Gotcha.
Well, need to voice that so that somebody, if the person that likes to take my money would like to give us a call, 256-576-4977. I will happily step out of the studio and get on that phone just so I can pay you my money.
Look, Huntsville Utilities might not always have you covered. For the most part, they do, all right? But you know who always will, Joe?
At least somebody shows up.
Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. They're also the show's sponsor. We appreciate them very much. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online, FlemingHSV.com, the place to find them. Remember, they always show up. You guys can also be watching this show over on WZZN TV, on YouTube, Facebook, X, wherever you want. You can just turn it on and you can enjoy this, as well as the app 97.7 ESPN The Zone on Apple and Android devices. Looking forward to high school football, Joe. It's a lot of fun. The prep that we're getting into. We're also getting into some interesting underdog picks that may or may not be right in the soul. But regardless of that, we're going to do it anyway. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to most of the segments that we got coming up this football season.
We do, because we're going to be bringing back Dog of the Week in the second hour. If you did not experience that last year, since football season has started back, preseason, we're going to show you a little bit of what Dog of the Week is. We are now 10 days away from the start of the high school football season. Wow. 10 days.
Huh. Vacation's weird. It really just throws my my perception of time off a little bit, Joe. And not much later after that, we're going to have college football.
Yeah.
And
10 days away. I also just got a text that says you can go to the kiosk. No, I can't go to the kiosk because they took the kiosks out for the new stuff. I just pulled a Drew.
Yeah, I see why Baghdad Bob eggs up so much. Whenever you hit the table, it did a little wonkiness.
Now it sounds like that on hold sound that I was getting with the Huntsville Utilities.
What the heck? I can only hear you out of one.
I know, me too.
I think you might have turned.
That's totally my fault. No, I did that.
Okay, regardless, Joe.
Maybe if I bang the there it goes.
You actually almost got it.
I did. I thought I almost fixed it just by doing that.
Look, yesterday, though, the AP poll did come out, all right? The brand new AP poll, very shiny, very nice. Some people looking at it, it's very irrelevant. But to me, I look at it as a way to initially gauge where these teams kind of belong. You did fix it there, Joe. Thank you very much.
It's not actually the box, it's the wire that's connected to
Gotcha. The Texas Longhorns sit at number 1 with Arch Manning coming in as their quarterback. It's going to be interesting to see how this team does. Okay, I'm very interested to see what the Longhorns can do. And with this much hype, can Arch Manning truly live up to it? I think that there's a possibility.
Whoa, that was on repeat.
But I think it's just because it's amplified.
I didn't mean that to happen, but answer the phone.
But the Texas Longhorns, a lot of hype around them. Are they going to be able to live up for it? I think that it's going to be an interesting follow-up to last season. Penn State, surprisingly enough, gets second, Joe. And I got to say, I'm looking at this Penn State team, and I'm thinking the same thing I'm thinking with Alabama, where it's a lot of returning players and a lot of good coming out of those returning players and getting rid of some of the poison that was onto that team as well last season. Now, Penn State was already good in their own right, but I think this is exactly where they belong within the top 3. Just because they do have Drew Aller coming back, that is a very veteran, very good returning QB that's definitely going to be able to boost up his draft stock moving forward. Now, I do want to look at Clemson and Alabama because they had the biggest movement in this new edition of the AP poll, Joe. All right. Alabama is sitting at 8 right now. They moved up 9 spots, whereas Clemson, bringing back their quarterback, Cade Klubnik. This team is very veteran and looking to be the best in the ACC by far. They moved up 10 spots. But I also wanted to look past that. I want to look past Clemson because they're sitting at 4 right now. I think that is an interesting spot for them. Are they going to be able to live up to that hype? I looked at Oregon and Notre Dame, and I thought to myself, I don't know if these two teams belong. And, of course, there's a few more throughout the AP poll that I don't fully agree with. Arizona State being one of them, sitting at number 11. LSU at number 9. I could maybe, we could see that being the case. But Indiana at 20? I don't think they're going to have the follow-up season that they did last year. Ole Miss? They're not returning that many guys, Joe. This is going to be a totally different team for Lane Kiffin. Although we talk so highly about him within the SEC, overall, I don't know if this is exactly where they belong right out the gates. Now, they did drop 10 spots, but top 25, pretty interesting for this team. I did want to take a look, though, at Oregon and Notre Dame, because these two teams right here have a lot of change going into this new season, okay? Oregon did add a pretty amazing piece in the running back position, okay? So I look at Mekhi Hughes, and this is a transfer in from Tulane. He rushed for almost 3,000 yards in the last 2 seasons, okay? On top of that, Dan Lanning has shored up a lot of his offensive line that has scooted off to the NFL. 4 offensive linemen off to the NFL. And I'm still concerned because the quarterback room is so young. The amount of conversations we have about quarterbacks within the SEC, these guys are young. I don't think they're going to be able to produce. They're not really proven. But that doesn't seem to be a problem for the AP poll when they're looking at Oregon and Notre Dame, who also have a very young quarterback room. Now, I'm not going to say that Oregon's going to be terrible because I'm pretty sure that their defense is going to be pretty good with Tosh Lupus, who, of course, coached with Alabama for a little bit of time, as well as the Cleveland Browns. It always circles back. I mean, this could even be with Nick Saban. We could talk about it. So that should take some, pressure off these young quarterbacks. But at the same time, Oregon's got a pretty easy, cheesy schedule. It's not looking too tough. But does that merit a college football playoff berth? I'm not 100% sure that it does. It's a different poll. That'll come later in time. For Notre Dame, it's kind of the same concern because Riley Leonard, of course, gone off, making plays with the Colts right now. Honestly, might be a viable starter for that team, seeing how Anthony Richardson's finger is pointing a totally different direction. And on top of that, Daniel Jones is that other quarterback. So, who do they have at the quarterback position? Well, they got CJ Carr. He's a redshirt freshman. They got Kenny McKinney or whatever his name is, who's a sophomore. Blake Herbert and, Tyler Buckner. I thought he played lacrosse.
Bucky Buckner?
Old Buckner.
Yeah.
But I will say this, Joe. For all the uncertainty that I have about Notre Dame, I look at their schedule and I love it.
Well, yeah, because it's the same schedule it always is.
No, it's not. And I think that this is something that is really a testament to Marcus Freeman and saying, I'm not gonna have any of those POS games anymore. I'm done with those. Because 2 of those POS games were losses out of the 9 games that I'm going to say that he lost throughout his time as the Notre Dame head coach. And I'm not counting the, what was it, the Fiesta Bowl or something like that he was the interim coach of?
Yes.
Because he lost that one as well, but I'm not counting that one. But he's lost 2 games to group of 5 teams, Northern Illinois and Marshall. That is gone off of this schedule. And I think that it's a good thing. I also think it is a bad thing for Notre Dame because I don't think they're going to be able to win as many games. They play Miami right out the gates. Texas A&M. Purdue should be an easy one. Arkansas, which is not a pushover. This is in Fayetteville, by the way. Boise State. North Carolina State. We'll just move past that one. USC.
Well, that's a scheduled game. Like they have to play.
Yeah, they got to play some of these ACC teams. Boston College, Navy, Pittsburgh, Syracuse, Stanford. Which, by the way, Stanford a few years ago also beat Marcus Freeman. I love this schedule. There are no POS games. Yes, you could be a little upset. Oh, Purdue's not that good. But regardless, Joe, these are all big brands facing off. Exactly.
Like it's an A4. My biggest thing with the AP poll, and it's always going to be this way because it's the idea of trying to figure out who the top 25 teams are in the country when literally
we know nothing.
70% of them are all new players and new teams and new everything. So what I did just a few moments ago, as you were talking about it, is I went back and I grabbed last year's preseason AP poll and looked at who they had number 1 and all of that. You know, the biggest thing about this is I'm looking at it and I'm saying they didn't get much wrong as far as the beginning top AP poll compared to the final rankings. There were only about, I would say, maybe 2 teams that really dropped big time that started off the season in the top 25. Like if I look at the top 10, obviously number 10 was Florida State. We know how their season went last year. Michigan was another one that you go, okay, well, they had a massive drop off.
Yep.
But then it's
still beat Bama.
Penn State, Notre Dame, Ole Miss, who finished 11th last year. They had Alabama at 5, which finished 17th. But then the top 4, Texas, Oregon, Ohio State, and Georgia. And
that's why I'm
final AP poll, Georgia was at 6. Notre Dame ended up at 2. Ohio State, obviously, number 1. Oregon at 3 and Texas at 4. So as far as me looking at it and saying, like, this is absolutely asinine to sit here and try to figure out what these top 10s, you can also go, and this is the difference between college football and with the NFL is majority of these teams that are in the top 10 all have brand new starting quarterbacks this year. Miami does. Alabama does. Oregon does. You have Notre Dame, I think, is going to.
No, they will.
They will.
Riley Leonard's gone.
That's it. Yeah. Georgia does. Clemson has the same. Ohio State's got new. Penn State's got new. Texas has new. So that's the difference between the NFL and with college, because at college, it doesn't matter if they're going to have a brand new starting quarterback or not, because a lot of times that isn't as big of a factor in this as compared to the way that it is kind of in the NFL. So, I mean, with some of this, like, yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see how Texas is going to be, because I want to see how well Arch Manning is going to be able to run the offense. I think that he could have ran the offense last year, but you were still giving Quinn Ewers his senior season to be able to play like it is. Clemson with Klubnik, honestly, if he plays to his standard the whole season, there shouldn't be a team that they are playing right now that I could say would go, you know, that one is going to be an upset just because of the way it is. The biggest question is going to be the first game of the year, and that's going to be LSU. Honestly, their season is going to be bookended by games that could be against teams that have an opportunity to possibly beat them. LSU at the beginning of the season, and then obviously last game of the year is going to be against South Carolina. The rest of those games, I'm just kind of The Georgia Tech one is going to be very interesting because that is already, I mean, where August 12th is already on my radar as an upset game.
Still got Haynes King.
Because they have Haynes King, Clemson, highest ranked team, on the road, 11 a.m. kickoff.
Oh, jeez.
It all matches up to what I told you last year.
Start taking notes, wacky underdog pickers.
I mean, it's an early kickoff against, at the moment, a team that is not ranked with a very good quarterback. It's a September game. It's going to be hot in Atlanta on September 13th. So it's an 11 a.m. kick. That one is already circling one that you go, that one could be an upset. Now, look, there are other road games at North Carolina, at Boston College, at Louisville, and obviously at South Carolina. Some of those could eventually turn into upsets.
Yeah.
But if they beat LSU week 1, that Georgia Tech game, I am circling that could be that could be an upset.
Well, I do want to say this before everybody's just like looking past Boston College. Of course, we all know their coaching position. Their quarterback position has kind of been shored up. Their starter is going to be redshirt sophomore Dylan Lonergan, former Alabama quarterback, was sitting on the bench, of course, didn't play at all, but it's pretty scary, I got to admit, with what that team's got being getting built up over there. Now, I do want to hop into a break because we do need to talk with the guest that is going to help us out quite a bit.
Mainly because that is, out of everything that's happened, that's going to be the most important story throughout the state, is the fact that there's 2 important stories throughout the state. The first one is Malcolm Simmons his case has been officially thrown out. That happened yesterday, so that means that all charges have been dropped, and he is back to full participation with Auburn. Yeah. So that's the reason why we were being very careful with the way that was being said, because today was the preliminary hearing to figure out yesterday was the preliminary hearing where they found out if the judge was part of it, as far as the judge determining if there was enough evidence to actually take this to trial. And that was not the case. The other big story, at least in Tuscaloosa, and for the majority of our listening audience, is the fact that Alabama has named their starting quarterback.
Yes, they have.
Ty Simpson.
And Mike Rodak from Bama 247 is going to be joining us on the other side, because I did talk a little bit about Notre Dame, talked about Oregon. What does Alabama have that lets them jump ahead of those two? And now, of course, we know for sure their quarterback is going to be the senior who has been there for a minute. Is he a junior? Is he a junior at this time? Was he a redshirt at the first year? I got to just make sure about that. Regardless, we're getting into a lot of Alabama conversation. We also have Dog of the Week later on throughout the show, and so much more. Yeah, he is a junior. That's just how college football is. He could come back. Everybody's already going to be saying that. He's probably going to be
You may just want him to leave.
Yeah, like Jalen Milroe. Who knows? Alabama fans, we were all a little bit crazy. Either way, we'll take it to break off of that when we come back. Mike Rodak, Bama 247, here on the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, ESPN in Winchester, and WZZN TV.
Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. This is the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com. Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month up to $15. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings. In Hampton Cove and our latest location, now open in New Market on Winchester Road.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Flying nonstop from Huntsville is a breeze on Breeze people, flying nice people to nice places on really nice planes. Let's be direct. Nonstop from Huntsville to the places you want to go. Las Vegas, Orlando, or Tampa, starting at $49. It's time for a weekend getaway or a long overdue week away. Time to check in using the convenient Breeze app and check out. What are you waiting for? Book today at flybreeze.com. That's flybreeze.com. Breeze Air fairways, seriously nice.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
Have you ever turned your back on God? Have you ever absolutely known the right thing to do and just turned around and walked away in disobedience? I know that I have. Aren't we thankful for our great and merciful God who loves us and forgives us and remembers our sin no more? I'm so thankful that his mercies are fresh every day. I need that, and I suspect you do too. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, and if you're looking for a church home, come see us. We're smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison, and check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Hello, listeners. I want to tell you a little bit about Minuteman Press and what we have to offer our community. We specialize in paper printing and can help from designing your piece to the finished product. We print media guides for many of the athletic departments at high schools and universities around the area. We typically purchase sponsorships from these schools as well to try and help them with their fundraising. Once we have reached our new normal, we also print all types of marketing materials for you to hand out either in person, via mail, or at various trade shows and events. At Minuteman Press, we're not just putting ink on paper, we're building relationships.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Armed and dangerous. Ain't too many can bang with us. Straight up, no. Label us notorious. Thug us that love the bus. It's strange to us. Y'all be scrambling, gambling.
Hello and welcome back into the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk, 97.7 ESPN The Zone, ESPN Winchester. You guys are able to call in 256-576-97.7. It will get you on hold for a little bit because we got to make room for a brand new guest. It is Mike Rodak with Bama 247, who got a little bit more insight, I would say, on the Alabama scrimmage. And then, of course, Alabama's big news that they threw at us. And, Joe, you got to mute your computer over there.
Man, what the heck?
Just getting
At
back.
least it wasn't me saying, answer the phone!
I'm getting back at you for yesterday. You called me out for the 2 seconds. My computer was kind of going all wonky. But
you're right.
Mike Joe joins us over on the Neighbors Wealth Management hotline. And first things first, Mike, how are you? And how are the vibes over in Tuscaloosa?
Good. On my way down there right now. Ryan Grubb is going to talk after practice this morning, and I'm sure dive a little bit more into the quarterback decision, which, I think we were all expecting it to come either Saturday, this coming Saturday, or maybe next Monday, but came a little bit early. I'm sure they sat down after the first scrimmage and decided it was time to make it official, and they did. So, yeah, it'll be, Ryan Grubb, and I believe Ty Simpson is actually going to talk to us, which will be the first time that he's had a press conference in his now 4 years at Alabama. Will be today. So that's on the docket for later this morning.
Well, and this is kind of like one of those worst kept secrets. Like it's something we've been figuring that would be the answer all the way through. I mean, literally after the Michigan game, it was like, all right, it's Ty Simpson's turn. So we've been thinking this, but from what you've seen, and I know you only get a little bit of practice in some of the videos that have been put out, like what is it that about Ty Simpson that got the coaches to say, okay, we're now to the point where we feel confident of this is the decision?
The words that come to mind are probably clean, reliable, steady. I think those were all qualities that they were looking for. Especially when you look at what they have around him, I think if you're able to avoid the big mistake and just get the ball in the hands of some of the receivers that they have, and they could very well have the best receiver room in the country, then, you'll put yourself in a pretty good spot. So, that's the biggest thing for him is avoiding the interceptions, avoiding the big mistakes. That's been kind of the story of this camp. I think even Kalen DeBoer mentioned it after the scrimmage that there's only been a handful of interceptions, for all three of the quarterbacks, but Ty included within that. So, the steadiness, the reliability, I think are important traits. And that's going to be something I think they look for going into the Florida State game when you're starting on the road, hostile environment. Obviously, you have the Georgia game coming up pretty quickly as well, and that's going to be on the road. So, I think the veteran presence, The experience, the poise are all important traits. And, I think they kind of let it play out just to see what they could get out of Austin Mack and Keelan Russell, because their trajectories are, and Kalen likes using this word, steeper, because they're a little bit younger. Obviously, Austin's a year younger, and Keelan is 3 or 4 years younger than Ty. And there's probably going to be a day when Keelan Russell is a better quarterback than Ty Simpson. So how quickly, does that day come? I think they're kind of leaving the door open in case it just they blew everybody away coming into camp. But that didn't really happen to the extent that it needed to for somebody else to win the job. And so it's Ty's job. There he is.
And I want to know, Mike, is that same conversation being said about Austin Mack, or is this a guy that will have an opportunity at the starting position next year, maybe? And if that doesn't come into fruition, Keelan Russell wins it. Do you think Austin Mack would be done and transfer off and out of Alabama, or do you think he would stick around?
It's a good question. He's going to be squeezed a little bit. That's kind of the general feeling I get with him between Ty and between Keelan, because he is a third-year player. Everybody talks about how he's young, and he did come in. He was 17 years old when he came into Washington with Grubb and DeBoer 3 years ago now. And that doesn't change your eligibility clock. Even if you are young coming in and you reclassify, you're still kind of using up your eligibility. So I would expect him to be the number 2 to start this year. I don't know if Grubb will say that today or if that's something that they'll kind of let linger another week or two, but I would expect Austin Mack to be the number 2. And maybe if there's kind of a catastrophic failure or an injury or something on Ty's part, maybe Austin Mack gets in there. But it is going to be interesting next offseason when we have a player of Keelan Russell's caliber, and he's the highest rated recruit in 247's database for Alabama in the history of our database. I think you're going to be looking at him getting on the field in year 2. I think if he doesn't get on the field in year 2, you're probably a little bit behind schedule for a player who's just elite as he is. So that puts a squeeze on Austin Mack. That's his 4th year of eligibility next year. I would be a little bit surprised if he stuck around, if he's not the starter for his 4th year of eligibility, but we'll have to see. It's still a year out, and a lot can change.
No doubt about that. And one thing that is changing is Alabama not being number 1 or in the top 5 during the AP poll's first showing. And I know this is the AP poll we're talking about. Some things can be said about it. It doesn't really matter too much at the end of the day. But I mean, Alabama sits at 8, and there are 2 teams in front of them that I think that might be kind of pushed out of the way in the next few weeks. But I want to know your opinions on that. Do you think this is where an Alabama team of 2025 lies, or do you think that there's a little bit more that you're seeing from this squad?
Yeah, it's always a tough question, just because there's so many different quarterbacks usually every year, but especially this year, it feels like across college football, and kind of go right down to top 10, and I think 7 or 8 of them have new quarterbacks this year. Yeah. And that's obviously a big determining factor. You don't know what Arch Manning's going to look like. You don't know what Ty Simpson's going to look like, right down the list. So, look, it's a 9-spot improvement from where they ended last year. They were 17 to end last year. And so they've moved up 9 spots, which I think is good. That shouldn't be forgotten, but I would have expected them maybe to be a spot or 2 higher, just based on where some of the national people kind of viewed some other teams, throughout the summer and even back into the spring. Like, I maybe would have thought the 6 or 7 range, but at the end of the day, probably not going to matter. Like you said, you have some top 10 games coming up, some big games coming up pretty quickly, and things will move around pretty soon.
No doubt about it. And I do want to look at the offensive defensive line. I of course, I love the positional players like the running backs and the wide receivers, but when it comes down to it, it all happens in the trenches. And for Alabama this year, I feel like the general consensus has kind of been the front looks amazing. They look huge. Caden Proctor, Cam Dewberry. I mean, all of these guys are looking massive. But the seconds and the thirds are kind of the confusion. Who are those guys going to be? Do you have any notes that you could throw at us about those second and thirds? And that goes for the defensive line as well.
Yeah, I think the offensive line, you're still trying to figure out who your starting guards are. So, you have three guys for two spots between Dewberry, the transfer in from A&M, Jaden Roberts, who's banged up, but I don't know if that's the whole story in terms of him, being on the second team for part of practice here. And then you have Geno Vandermark, who people tend to overlook, because he's a little bit undersized, but he started games at Michigan State. He has a long history with Chris Kapilovic, the offensive line coach. I think there's a lot of respect there and for what he can do and his toughness and all that. So would not count him out. And at the end of the day, two spots, three guys, you're probably going to rotate guys early in the season like they did last year. So you like the depth on the inside because Vandermark, if he doesn't start, can also, back up at center. And if he does start, you can always move inside there too. So I think you feel good about the interior depth. I think William Sanders is another player that you could see some playing time at guard as well. And then I think the tackle is probably the bigger question in terms of the depth. Olas Alanen is probably your third tackle behind Formby and Caden Proctor. And, you have two really solid freshmen coming in Michael Carroll and Jackson Lloyd at tackle. But they're freshmen, and, I don't know how much they're going to play this year. So I would probably put those as the number 4 and number 5 tackles behind Alanen and then your two starters. And then defensive line-wise, I think depth on the interior is definitely a question mark. James Smith has been banged up. They got Tim Keenan back, which was huge. But you're probably relying on Jeremiah Beeman and Edric Hill to make big jumps this year at defensive tackle. I think you like what you have in LT Overton on the edge. And then it's just a question of Jordan Renaud was their number 2 on the edge last year. And then you have Keon Keeley. And how far has he come from last year is probably a question. And can he overtake Jordan Renaud for the number 2 job there?
A couple of weeks ago, we had the media day that we all saw videos of Proctor talking about, messages that he'd been given about, the way last year ended. But for you and walking around, this is Kalen DuBoer's second season. Do you feel a vibe is different? Is anything there? I mean, now that we know the starting quarterback, whenever you guys are around doing some of your work, do you feel any difference compared to what it was last year?
Yeah, I think there's still a similar approach and a similar vibe from Kalen DeBoer. I think he's always going to be very positive. He's going to be upbeat. I think he tries to uplift his players and tries to build relationships with them, but also relationships between them. Those are a lot of important qualities for him, and I don't think that's changed from year 1 to year 2. But yeah, I think there's probably a little bit more stress on the players in terms of trying to tighten up some of the things that went wrong last year. And, they're always very careful to talk about last year. And I think even Damani Jackson was talking about it recently and said, we were 100% in on some of that stuff last year, but now we're 1,000% in on doing everything, all the little things right and being on time to meetings, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, read into that as you will, but I do think there's a little bit of a strengthened emphasis on that this year. And, he's never going to be Nick Saban. He's never going to have that, approach or that quality to him because he's his own person, his own coach. But I think he tries to make his style work. And obviously there's a track record of him doing it at the places that he's been before.
I know that you did an article about the quarterbacks and obviously their history and their first starts and everything like that. Like for a lot of Alabama fans, we think about first starts for a lot of quarterbacks. Starting on the road is just going to be different for Ty Simpson. What did you find out about that when it comes to Alabama quarterbacks getting that first start in a true road game?
Right. Yeah. Obviously there's different situations when guys have gotten into, the starting role. There's been injuries. In fact, Jalen Milroe came in when Bryce Young was injured. Mac Jones came in when Tua was injured in 2019. Those are both home games that they played. A lot of guys have obviously started the first game of a season, to make their first career start. And just historically, Alabama's typically either started at home or they started a neutral site game. So this is a unique situation, or not unique, but it's been a while at least, where they're starting on the road. In fact, the last time that they've started the season on the road in the game that they scheduled to be on the road was 2000, when they started out at UCLA. Wow. So it's been a while. Yeah, 25 years. And it's just kind of the reflection of their change in scheduling, philosophy, where they went away from the neutral site games and now they're doing the home and homes. But regardless, it's a situation where Ty is going to have to deal with crowd noise. It's not the biggest stadium, in Tallahassee. But in fact, I think they've reduced the capacity with the renovation they did this offseason. But yeah, I'm sure it's still going to be loud. Fans down there are, prideful about football, and they're coming off a terrible year, but I don't think that's going to matter. I think everybody's going to kind of wipe the slate clean down there and try to beat Alabama. It's the first time that Alabama's been down there. So to have all the checks at the line and all the communication down is going to be really important for Ty. And then just being able to keep your composure when things don't go right. We saw that falter, with times with Jalen Milroe the last couple of years. And, can Ty do that is a big question. And like I said, it's been a while since a quarterback has started his first career start on the road. It was Mark Gillen back in 2004 at Arkansas when Brody Croyle was hurt. So it's been 21 years.
So to put it in perspective, 21 years, that would have meant 2004. I was a freshman a sophomore in college, and John was still learning to walk.
I was walking. I was running. All right.
Well, you were 4.
I was 4. I was learning math. That was a different story.
1 + 1. But I mean, that's the perspective of how long it has truly been. I didn't realize that it was 2004 and 2000.
Honestly, it makes me feel younger.
Seriously, like when you said 2000, again, I was a sophomore in high school, and John was all of like a few months born.
Our producer wasn't born yet.
Yeah, our producer wasn't even born the last time Alabama did something like that.
It's a younger show on the average, but either way, Mike Rodak from Bama 247 has been our guest, and I love the way that you said it. Buying in, that's a different thing. I don't think a lot of people are looking at. A lot of people thought it might have been the problem that is, Kalen DeBoer, which I haven't seen one just yet. Of course, there were some problems last year, but buying into what he's got to offer after following up what Nick Saban was offering for the last decade and a half. I mean, that's something right there that it definitely opens some eyes. But real quick, before we get you out of here, what is that hype level on that opening game? Is this, do you think, one of the more important games, or we're just hearing a lot of smoke from Thomas Castellanos?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think the Texas-Ohio State game is probably going to overshadow a lot of it nationally. Obviously, that's where game day is. And I think the Florida State game is going to feel a little bit more like a warm-up to that. Or actually, is that an 11 a.m. game? The big noon, the Ohio State-Texas game? It might be. I forget. But either way, it's not the biggest game that weekend. So
it is an 11 a.m. kick.
The hype, I think, is 11 a.m., man. So it's going to be after that, and people are still probably going to be talking about that game when Alabama's on the field. So, I mean, I think you want to just keep the game in control. You don't want to have what happened at Vandy last year and go down 14-0, or have what happened at Oklahoma and you're down 24-3. Mm-hmm. You want to keep the game in control. You don't want to let the crowd stay in it. You're a better team than Florida State on paper. You still need to show it in a tough environment. So, I don't know if the hype's out of control with it, but you lose this game, and people are going to be jumping on Kalen DeBoer's back pretty quickly, and then you have to go to Georgia 3 weeks after. So that's a little bit tough. But at the end of the day, I think you can lose this game and win every other one, and you make the playoff and advance. People aren't going to remember any of that happened on August 30th.
Oh, good thing Alabama has a pretty nice track record of starting off the season with a bang. But last question for you. Dylan Lonergan, starting quarterback for Boston College. I mean, any words on that one? It's almost like Alabama is just placed within every single universe and university throughout all of college. What do you have on that?
Yeah, I mean, Eli Holstein too at Pitt last year. Guys transferring out and going elsewhere to start, and Holstein did pretty well for himself, at least the first half of last year. We'll have to see with Lonergan. I mean, he flashed a little bit, especially during an A-Day. I think it was 2 years ago. He can really, throw in the move. He's obviously a baseball player. He's got quite an arm. It's going to be a lesser level of competition in the ACC, so maybe he can do something there. But, you can't start them all. That's kind of people have to keep in mind, especially in the transfer portal era. Like, you can't give every single guy his chance at quarterback, and you kind of have to pick and choose, like we talked about with Mack and Keelan Russell, and it's probably going to happen with the two freshmen have coming in at quarterback next year. Like, you're going to have to be selective with which quarterbacks you get on the field, and you're probably going to have guys that go elsewhere and start. And, Lonergan is just the latest example of that.
The SEC is competitive. Alabama's depth chart is even more. Mike Rodak has been our guest. Mike, let the people know where they can follow your work online and on socials.
Yeah, on Bama247.com and on X at Mike Rodak.
Great stuff, man. Appreciate
Thanks,
you
bro.
hopping on with us. Looking forward to the season that's right around the corner.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Good stuff. Mike Rodak, Bama247. Let's hop into that break. You guys can react to that 256-576-97.7 here on the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and ESPN Winchester and WZZN TV. I'm never going to forget about that one.
Is Sean Mateer really betting?
He used to.
Phone lines are open now. 256-576-4977. This is The Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Falcons hosting the Titans in preseason football Friday at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The Titans are the 4.5-point road favorite, 37.5 the total. Alabama expected to start redshirt junior Ty Simpson at quarterback when the Crimson Tide open up the season August 30th as a 13.5-point road favorite at Florida State. Baseball today, Atlanta Braves with Spencer Strider on the mound, 5-9, a 4.04 earned run average, a $1.08 underdog against Clay Holmes and the Mets, minus 132, 8 over the total at Citi Field. The Mets have dropped 7 straight and 9 of their last 10 games. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold-certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games, and if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
John Abraham here with Bobcat of Huntsville. Men, the season is upon us. This is what all the playbooks have prepared us for. But here, there's no need for a 3-4 defense because we're not talking about the football season. We're talking about the get-done season. Starting August 13th, Bobcat of Huntsville will have a full line of steel products for you to throw at those jobs you've been putting off until now. So put away those fantasy draft notes and pick up the tool you've been waiting for because it's time to get it done. Bobcat of Huntsville, run off a Highway 20 in Madison.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Looking deep downfield, looking for Williams. Comes back, makes the catch, trying to split defenders. Makes them bang into each other. Stays on his feet, breaks a tackle, scores. Ryan Williams, one play, 75 yards.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather, brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 80s. We're also talking about some scattered showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Temperatures dropping into the low 70s as we head into the overnight. Another mostly cloudy sky for your Wednesday. Once again, temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 80s with scattered showers and thunderstorms.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Talking ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. only on 97.7 ESPN and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
Joe, I got a question for you, man. You use Venmo, right?
Yes, I even have a Venmo card, which is so smart.
Good.
The moment it gets into your account, you can use the card.
I'm glad you don't use like Cash App or stuff like that. It's
I have Cash Out mainly because there's various people that I work with and have worked with at times that some use PayPal, some use Cash App, some use Venmo.
There's too many.
There are, and so basically what would happen is especially when we were last year and 2 years ago, we'd all like want to order food, like if we were all working late, and be like, all right, well, what do you want? Oh, I'll get this. Do you have Cash App?
My pizza.
Yeah, can you got Cash App? Yeah, sure. Here you go. Just here's my Cash App. Then they would send me the money. So it was just, you got Venmo? Okay, cool. Well, just Venmo me real
It's like
fast.
instantaneous.
Yeah, it goes right over. I love it. Which like with my wife and stuff, it'll be hey, can you shoot me $20 just for I can hit gas real fast before I get paid tomorrow. And it would be instantaneous. I could literally use the card right there.
Well, one thing I love to do whenever it comes to Venmo or Cash App or all that stuff is add little jokes, throw little jabs in there, stuff that is so unserious that it's funny. And it works most of the time. A lot of my people who are on there, my contacts, my followers, which is weird that you can have followers on a Cash App, but regardless,
so strange, man.
they think it's funny. Tom Abraham, on the other hand, does not. He takes everything serious with me. And and now it looks like the internet is starting to take some college quarterbacks serious. And Joe, you kind of teased this in the last segment. What did you say?
Well, it was, and I'm going to say Mateer here because I wanted to say Mater. There's apparently some screen grabs that have come out of John Mateer's Venmo account,
apparent
from 2 years ago, that says, sports gambling, and then sports gambling for USC versus UCLA. Like he's like sent some money to his buddies or something along those lines. And so now like the NCAA and everything is going like, hold up, let's at least look into this. See, the problem is that, again, it was a Venmo transaction. Mm-hmm. So it isn't like your FanDuels or your, DraftKings or something along those, where they can actually find your account that's connected to your email and find how much money you put in from what bank account. Like it's nothing like that. Like it could be your Venmo. I, for one, would like to think that even a 17-year-old kid is not going to be dumb enough to write sports gambling as the reason why you would be sending money to somebody to gamble on sports.
I mean, there's specific games though. UCLA versus USC. I mean, there's got to be something.
And who's this guy that he was sending the money to? Like, is it one that you had to do that so that he knew where your bet was going to be? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that was the way, they're like, hey, if you can, in the headline, just type in this so that we know that it's for this.
It lines up with the dates.
Example
too.
I would say is like Huntsville Utilities. If they were to say, hey, you can Venmo us your money to pay for your power bill that you have not been able to pay for 3 weeks, just put inside the memo, for my power, take my bleeping money. Just for an example.
It's very straight up. Yeah, it's very forward.
Huntsville Utilities.
I'm one of those guys though that dabbles in the jokes. Okay, now I don't dabble in the gambling, and I also
between my wife and I, absolutely, I send her funny stuff.
If anything, I feel like it would come from maybe he and his buddy were doing like a parlay on something. All right, and he sends his buddy the money that maybe they lost on it. Him and his buddy were like splitting the bet. That's the only way I could see it. But
see, that right there would then fall under the line of actually sports gambling on your sport.
Yeah.
See, that is actually him admitting fault to doing something along those lines, again, which would be wrong.
None of this is proven. He is declining. He is totally saying this did not happen. And it could be played off as a joke. But this isn't the only quarterback that is getting looked into on their Venmo accounts. There's plenty of them.
Yeah,
Arch
Manning.
Manning.
Who goes through your Venmo? Okay, now that is absolutely a total joke about what Arch Manning was Venmoing people about. Yeah. That's the other thing that's extremely messed up. Like, I understand Instagram wanting to, give you something that's like, so-and-so also follows this account, or so-and-so also follows this account, or so-and-so liked this picture. I get that. I don't want you to know where my money's going. Like, that to me, like, that's the one thing that if I was Venmo, I'd be like, this really isn't something that your friends need to see.
Yeah, because if somebody asks about an Instagram post, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, it was a fun little time. Yeah, we went off to the beach. I was in the water. There were ghost crabs throwing sand. If somebody asks about my Venmo payments, I'm not going to tell you. I'm like, what are you talking about?
No,
you're not going to know about that.
If you're going to be dumb enough to actually sports gamble and you're going to send the money on it, just put a cash, like the little cash bag, and put a football.
I can't do that, Joe.
Like, just do that.
I'm gonna. Can I look at mine to see?
Nobody
exactly
would
what I
know.
got?
And honestly, I don't think that there's a way to actually prove if this is true and if he gambled on it or not.
Yeah, I don't know if you can. I want to see if I could find some of mine.
Now, if you were to find out that the person that he sent this money to was actually like a bookie that just got like 10 years in prison because he was arrested for being a bookie in the back of a bar somewhere. Like, you walk up to him, he's got his little Venmo QR code sitting on the table. Like, yeah, just send it right there. Okay, this may have some legs to it.
Let's see.
But just like the Malcolm Simmons thing, hold off, because now it's just becoming a big joke on social media.
I got to find at least one of them. Joe. Just bear with me real quick.
I don't think you're going to find it in 20 seconds.
John always sends me pizza. See, he is a smart guy. He sends me the pizza. You send me the hockey sticks. Yeah. I mean, I guess you've been pretty responsible about it.
Actually. I told you.
I'm not as responsible about it, I guess.
Titans and Falcons are in the middle of joint practice. We'll have more when we come back on the Blitz.
Joe Hunk, John Abraham. You can watch the Blitz live now on X at 97.7 ESPN.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list and maybe a little scary. but it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports and is brought to you by Vector Security Champions Lane, the best pregame fan fest in college football. Visit championslane.com for updates throughout the season. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. Here are comments from Alabama football head coach Kalen DeBoer following Saturday's scrimmage in Tuscaloosa.
A good scrimmage for the guys. I say it seems like every time, but I felt good about the back and forth. There was times the offense moved the ball, especially early up the field, and defense did a nice job anchoring down as the scrimmage went along. And we got into some situations at the end, some end of game stuff that I think is really important. Things that we're able to do much more and be comfortable repping those things. Doesn't mean it's perfect, but that's why we practice, and got some end of the game situations in there at the end too. So. Just kind of last second stuff, 7 seconds and last play of the game type things. But really all the injuries that we have right now, we got Jaden Roberts still dinged up. He got in the middle of the week. It's just stuff we're dealing with and keep evaluating him.
I'll have more in a moment.
Tide fans, are you ready for game day in Tuscaloosa? Don't miss the ultimate pregame experience this season at Vector Security Champions Lane. Opening 4 hours before each home game, this fan fest has everything you need to get pumped for kickoff. Located next to the Walk of Champions, you'll enjoy live music, player autographs, the best food trucks from all over Alabama, and ice-cold beer in our Legends Lounge beer garden, where there's never a cover charge. Check out championslane.com each week for the latest updates. Roll Tide!
Join us on Thursday for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, streaming live at 2 p.m. Central on all CTSN social media platforms. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Vector Security Champions Lane. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
I'm here with our good friend, John Kendall. He's got 23 years of retail mortgage experience in the Tennessee Valley, and he's powered up with the #1 retail mortgage lender in the nation.
That's right, Scott. We have joined with Cross Country Mortgage, and that is true. We're the #1 retail mortgage lender in America. And with that powerhouse team and our experience here locally, we're ready to go.
They've got 120 mortgage, refinance, and home equity solutions to fit every need. If you call on Cross Country Mortgage, it is for the win.
That's right. You can reach me, Scott, at 256-562-3780, or you can go to crosscountrymortgage.com and then search my name.
It's Cross Country Mortgage and John Kendall, a powerhouse team. One more time, John.
That's crosscountrymortgage.com, 256-562-3780. If we can't close your loan, it simply cannot be closed.
Equal Housing Opportunity Company in MLS, number 3029.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Falcons hosting the Titans in preseason football Friday at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The Titans are the 4.5-point road favorite, 37.5 the total. Alabama expected to start redshirt junior Ty Simpson at quarterback when the Crimson Tide open up the season August 30th as a 13.5-point road favorite at Florida State. Baseball today, Atlanta Braves with Spencer Strider on the mound, 5-9, a 4.04 earned run average. A $1.08 underdog against Clay Holmes and the Mets, minus 132. 8 over the total at Citi Field. The Mets have dropped 7 straight and 9 of their last 10 games. For more, go to vsin.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Second hour, final hour, best hour on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, The Blitz. As you can also watch on WZZN TV, which is where we are getting a bunch of comments right now. You can hop in on that comment section just if you were at work, don't have anything to do, not wanting to answer the phone. Huntsville Utilities!
I would love for them to call in.
God, I always want them to call in, man.
Stacey.
I just want them to call in just so I can be like, okay, look, here's my number, take my money, let's just end this, okay?
Would you do that over air? If they did call in, would you give them your information?
Not over the air, because you actually, like, the way that you got to pay for it until they get everything set up is like giving like your bank and router number.
Yeah.
That's the dumbest thing.
Is it worth it, Joe?
That's some John Mateer level right there, idiocracy, if that's what he actually did. I don't think that totally has to be fake.
I don't think it is, man.
It has to be fake.
I don't think it is.
I don't think a 17, 18-year-old kid's going to be that dumb. I genuinely don't.
I'd hate to think that he's actually betting at that age, but I've been surprised. I've been surprised more.
I've done that. That was nothing. We used to make bets during high school basketball games. What are you talking about?
That might have been why he was paying somebody else, because he might have not have been old enough.
Dude, we did. Our betting was so in depth that not only did we have like a bookie keeping the cash for the end of the game so that we could all cash out, but we had an entire point system that the entire student body knew. So that's how we bet during the high school basketball games. I mean, it's been 21 years. I can say all this.
Yeah. I guess it's
no big deal.
What's that law called? That you can't
statute of limitations.
Yeah, the statute of limitations.
I mean, I guess technically now Cam Newton can come out and be like, heck yeah, they paid me. Darn right they did. I got a ring for that sucker. No, so yeah, we had tons of gambling. We bet on, for basketball games, we would bet on score, rebounds. It was like our own fantasy league. Score, rebounds, steals, fouls, deducted a point. All of that. We did every bit of that on there. And we had somebody that was keeping score and keeping notes through the whole thing. And you'd walk in and be like, yeah, give me 20 on 25.
I guess it's not too far off of what we're going to be doing, though, with the wacky underdog picks this year. Because we're going wackier than ever.
Are those out?
No.
I mean, it's a week away, man.
That is actually true. They could be out. Take a little look at that.
I'm going to look and see if they're actually out.
We also have the underdog picks. We have the dog of the week.
No, they have the schedule out, but they do not have the odds.
So we'll have the odds for you by the end of next week, most likely.
Let's make sure we're going to get the odds from our guy before we start all of this.
But we do have the dog of the week in the next segment, and I do want to also remind you that this show is presented by the wonderful people over at Fleming Roofing and Restoration. The guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs if you're having any roofing problems. Make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com, and remember that they show up. Similar to Joe in the second hour.
And similar also to Chris Sale, apparently, who is going to be doing a rehab start. I don't know why we're doing this. Again, this is how bad it is for the Braves in this season.
We can still make it.
I have their magic number for when they're eliminated from the playoffs.
How far are they past it?
You would think that they were already past it, right?
Honestly, I would. But then looking at the record, 51-67, 18 games behind.
They are 18 games back of first place. They're 12 game back of the final wild card spot. They're playing the Mets tonight, who is holding the final wild card spot.
I mean, I guess it could be worse.
First pitch is going to be at 6:10. Braves elimination number is 33.
Huh.
When you do that math, you're like, 33? That's actually a lot.
Come from?
Like that's like you're trying to do that math. Like, how did that happen?
Where'd that number end up?
I don't know what game and what day that ends up, but there's a calculation that you can do. It's like the number of wins plus the number of losses that a team has. You add those together and then you subtract 163, and that's how you find out your magic number.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
That's how you do. That's how you do the math. So
it's your and the Braves magic number, because I have no idea.
I'm calling it the Braves elimination number, and it's apparently 33. I thought that it would be a lot lower of a number than what that is, but 33 is the number.
Is it like 33%?
No, it's 33 days or 33 games.
Okay, so they have 33 games to turn things around.
No, they have 33 games to get into a final wild card spot or they are eliminated. Because right now they're 12 games back. So, I mean, like that's what I told John during the break. I go, watch Chris Sale get healthy and everybody start to get healthy. And the next thing you know, the Braves go on like a 10-game winning streak. And now we've got to sit here and go, all right, we're about to go into September. Like, what's about to happen? Yeah, watch that garbage take place because we'd already all written them off, including myself. Who is not being written off, though, is one Malcolm Simmons because it is now being reported after everything that took place. The charges against him in Lee County have officially been dismissed. And so he is now going to be back on the practice field in a full capacity now, getting ready for the Baylor game.
I was going to clap. I don't know if I should clap. What's the reasoning behind it?
Well, the whole
who's getting paid?
See, you know what was bad is I really did want to see if I could find who the judge was in the case just to see where he was a grad of.
I thought you were going to go and check his Venmo.
No, I was not going to go check his Venmo because I don't think Malcolm Simmons has been paid enough yet so that he could pay somebody off. But it is in Lee County, so obviously people are going to go, oh, this was an Auburn judge, like so be it. Again, more judges in Alabama come from Tuscaloosa than anything. So he has been cleared. The case has been officially thrown out. And so that means that now he can participate in team activities to a full, and he will be on the field in theory against Baylor coming up on the 29th.
That's good. I mean, there's a lot of this legal action that's going on right now. And one of those is also coming from John Gruden. If you've seen any of that, Joe.
Oh yeah, he won his case against the NFL.
He did. He can he won his case to go public with his case against the NFL.
Oh, if I was him, I would be on my X right when it happened going, here are every one of the documents. You guys have blackballed me from the NFL.
Yep.
I even did a speech last week about how I would love to be back in coaching and everything, and you guys have basically barred me from ever being a coach again. Here is all the dirt.
No. If anything, he can go and coach college football. Me and Steve had a good conversation about that. Texas Tech. What do you think about that? Do you think Texas Tech would be a likely spot for him?
Well, Texas Tech, if they weren't already a winner, because the thought is that they're going to be a big winner in 2025.
I was about to say, they're not a winner yet.
No, they are supposed to be. A lot of the Big 12 has been with projections with the way their season's going that they could be a number 1, number 2 team in the Big 12 with as much money as that team and that school is spending.
They
literally put oil rigs on their practice field. There are oil rigs around the practice field now.
The players just fill their cars up at the practice field, go home.
That is so absolutely amazing that they would do something like that just to thumb their nose up at what's going on.
The most Texas thing ever.
Also, the Titans and Falcons right now are in the middle of joint practice because they do play on Friday. So they're going to have a joint practice today. They're going to have a joint practice tomorrow. And then Thursday is going to be like an individual practice and walk through before the game on Friday. From the first session so far, it appears, based on what a lot of the beat writers from both sides are saying, is that the Falcons actually dominated the Titans in this.
I mean,
in the first joint practice.
How surprised are we? I mean, I love to talk good about the Titans. I love to see this team succeed, but at the same time, the Falcons are looking dangerous.
Well, and the Falcons also let it known yesterday that Michael Penix Jr. is not going to play in the second game, but Kirk Cousins may.
So it's like, we'll take out what, and I know everybody wants to joke about Kirk Cousins, but it's like, we'll take out one starting quarterback so you guys don't have to worry about that. But you guys get another starting quarterback that at one point was, leading the league in passing.
I think really what it is that they want to show the rest of the league of, hey, we still got this guy just in case.
It's also a good one.
Just in case y'all need somebody.
It's a good quarterback to have that you don't probably need.
I mean, just in case you just kind of want to think about giving me a call for a deal.
Cleveland. I mean, there's still an out. I don't know.
Wait,
I don't know
you
if
already
anybody
out on
else.
Shador? Shador literally had one good preseason
Shador
game.
is not going to start, and the Browns are already being like, no, he's not going to. He's still 4. He's still 4 on the depth chart. He's not jumping anybody here. I mean, Jacoby Brissett's on. Well, no, I said Jacoby Brissett. Tyler Huntley. Sorry, it was another backup Cleveland Brown player. Tyler Huntley was there as well. I think he's like the 5th or the 6th string. And then there's also the possibility that Deshaun Watson comes back at the end of the season. I need somebody who I can for sure say could be the starting quarterback of my team. And if there's one guy out there that could, well, his name is Kirk Cousins.
You know, what brings you joy in life, John?
I'd say the act of entertaining others.
Wow, that was so corny. Okay, so
is that corny?
Is it corny? Yes, it's very corny.
What else would it be?
It's very. I meant really, man. Like, what brings you joy in life? If I were to say this today, maybe look, my family. And if my wife's listening, I told her the other day that this would most likely get brought up at some point in time.
It's about to be hella corny after he just said.
No, this is what I'm going to do. No, absolutely.
Family man, gross.
Oh no, this is what we're going to do. Is every single night when my wife and kids, we all sit down to have dinner. We start dinner off by telling what we're thankful for that day. So every day now, my daughter that's 2, she'll just say like one of her favorite grandparents, Mimi. Okay, cool. You're thankful for Mimi. And then I'll look at my little man. Hey, what are you thankful for today? And he'll say something like, I'm thankful for the fact that we got to 100% on Spider-Man, like something like that. Yeah, we did that. Spent like 3 weeks trying to get to 100%.
Well, like 4 years.
And so like we've beaten it plenty of time, but I'm actually going back and doing the other stuff because he's always like, I just want to start over. So something like that. So we always say, what are you thankful for? So I'm asking you, what brings you joy on, say, yesterday, for instance?
Putting a smile on people's faces.
God bless it. That's so corny. Anyways, you know what brought a smile to my face yesterday?
What?
And I don't even think, yes, it was yesterday at 3:02 p.m. I looked into my inbox and I saw an email. And the email came from the Tennessee Titans PR department. And it was to let me know that they have terminated the contract of Tim Boyle.
Oh, that's upsetting.
And they got rid of the Boyle. And that made me happy.
I don't know why it would make you happy.
You know why? Because if you gave me a football right now, or if I gave you a football right now, could you hit Brody in the other room with that football?
Oh, I'd knock him out.
Okay. Tim Boyle cannot. Because Tim Boyle tried to throw a quick out route to his running back during that preseason game, and he just couldn't even, I don't even think he got a fingertip on the receiver.
Joe, I have nothing but respect for Tim Boyle because this guy has been able to make $8 million throughout his career as a 4th, 5th string quarterback.
No, I mean,
he's also gotten plenty of NFL time, plenty of playing time during preseason games.
Dang it.
Some during regular season games for a lot of different teams.
The very second that I just said that the Titans
he's on the practice squad.
got rid of Tim Boyle. First off, he can't be on the practice squad. Easton Freeze from A to Z Sports says Titans quarterback Brandon Allen was sacked and is now heading into the locker room with the trainer. They're going to bring Boyle back.
Got to bring Boyle back.
I'm celebrating the fact that they cut Boyle and they're about to bring him back because Brandon Allen's about to be injured.
Trevor Simeon's on the team.
Trevor Simeon was the guy that was also in that same email letting me know that they had signed Trevor Simeon, which I was excited about. Mm-hmm. But if you still need 3 quarterbacks, so that would mean that if Brandon Allen's injured, who are they going to sign? God bless it. See, and I was so excited about this.
Well, this is what happens when you want something like a Boyle removed. It just gets worse, because it just comes back.
And
see, I don't have a problem with Boyle whatsoever, but you do.
Because he's not your quarterback right now, and he's not going to be on your roster. That's the reason why you're not.
Pretty sure at one point he was on the Browns roster. I'm just going to, let me see. No, he actually wasn't. He played for the Green Bay Packers, the Detroit Lions, the Chicago Bears, the New York Jets, Houston Texans, Miami Dolphins, and the New York Giants. He's played for a lot of teams. Let's just be real. Okay. And every time he has been on the field and I have a family member around that knows anything about football, he's like a 48 in Madden.
Do you remember Landon Collins? That's the one I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
When Landon Collins committed to Alabama during the Under Armour All-American game. Do you guys remember that? Did either one of you ever see this?
I don't remember the actual moment.
Okay.
Because I was
go back. I want you to go back and watch this during the commercial break because this is something like this is about to pop up again and is happening right now. And I'm not going to tell you the city or the SEC team that it involves, but let's just say there is somebody else that is complaining about the school that the child plays at.
Uh-huh.
We'll have it for you when we come back. 256-576-4977. We continue on the Blitz on this Tuesday on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and WZZN TV.
Yeah, I remember that.
This is The Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. 256-576-4977.
What does it mean to be a part of the Southeastern Conference? That you scheduled your wedding and even your child's birth around your school's game? Of course. But it means more than that. It means you're home to hundreds of Fulbright, Truman, Goldwater, and Rhodes Scholars. It means starting out as the birthplace of American public higher education, and now leading the way in unmanned spacecraft. This is the SEC. And here, it just means more. What does it mean to be a part of the Southeastern Conference? That there's an honest-to-goodness chandelier in your tailgate tent? Perhaps. But it means more than that. It means pioneering medical solutions to predict new flu viruses. It means leading globally diverse teams to eliminate starvation in developing countries. And it means being home to one of the nation's top cybersecurity programs. This is the SEC. And here, it just means more.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, "If you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself."
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Let's talk about the X's and O's of family entertainment. Every parent in Alabama knows the importance of being able to draw up an activity that'll get you out of the house for a couple of hours. But it needs to be affordable. It needs to be family-friendly. Above all, it needs to be fun. Now, let's talk about high school sports. Bang for your buck, school sports provide the perfect game plan for your family. You'll enjoy all of the drama and excitement competitive sports offer. You'll be supporting the future leaders of our community in a meaningful way. Best of all, you can take the entire family without breaking the bank. Heck, you won't even dent it. Now, enough chalk talk. Let's get out there and see what's playing at the high school in your community. School sports. Good for our kids, good for our community. This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list and maybe a little scary, but it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Hello and welcome back in to the show. John Abraham, Joe Hunk, currently taking a little bathroom break. Somebody's got a loose bladder. As well as Brody on the board, helping out today, helping out every single day until he's not able to anymore. It happens. You know how it happens. But either way, we are getting into all of the fun stuff. And Joe brought in a very fun conversation that he would have been able to follow up on. However, he's not here, and now he is. Stop. So, yes, he sits down and takes his seat. I do want to tell you that a running back within the NFL has finally risen to the occasion. It's James Cook for the Buffalo Bills, as he was kind of seeking for a little bit of a contract extension. It hasn't happened yet, and similar to some other players, he is, pushed that to the side for the time being and returned to practice, which, again, James Cook, big piece to that Buffalo Bills offense.
So speaking of people that return to practice, welcome into the Blitz, by the way. I know he's probably already said all that, but yeah, I had to use the restroom. So y'all know Boo Carter?
Yes, we do. Tennessee cornerback, wide receiver, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, he was off the field for a while. People thought that he was going to transfer. Josh Heupel had to address it in his press conference. Josh Heupel then came back and said, hey, he's good.
We got him
back. It's okay. We're fine. I say that because then we flash back to Landon Collins.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember Landon's, now that you've had enough time to kind of look this up during the break?
All I had to do was look at the image of him sitting next to his mother and his mother holding up the LSU gloves. And I was like, oh, yeah, she's the one that got up and walked out after he committed to Alabama.
You know, LSU all the way, baby. Like
Yes,
that sort of that thing.
Yeah. Awkward.
So Boo Carter's mom has decided to go on X.
I remember hearing something about him and his mom being like the ones that were just kind of holding out. You know, they were both like in cahoots with each other.
So the way that she has been posting is it makes it sound like she wanted Boo to transfer away from Tennessee and Knoxville and transfer to Colorado.
All right,
and
Mama
play
Boo.
for Prime.
All right, Mama Boo. You better be careful what you wish for, because we're looking at a Colorado team that's far from ranked. So there's just one thing right there.
Have you seen the post or anything?
I haven't. What's it look
Her
like?
name is Mama Boo.
Oh,
that's the reason why this is funny. Her name is Mama Boo.
Why would it not be Mama Boo?
Mama Boo has started posting, and Mama Boo says, bruh, Dion got 8 players drafted in 2025.
Bruh.
WTF legendary is what she said.
Come on. What are we doing?
All from one team. He got 8 players drafted. And then the very next post says, I've never been a Vol fan. I'm a Boo fan.
Okay, then you want what's best for your kid. I understand that Deion Sanders sent a lot of kids to the NFL, but this came after, he had a pretty good quarterback, a really good wide receiver / cornerback. And I can understand maybe bringing in another one in the form of Boo Carter, where he was for sure going to have an opportunity to play both sides. But again, this is a Colorado team that has nothing that they had last year except for Deion Sanders. How is his mentality going to be? Is it going to be the same? On top of that, Colorado only got 1 vote to be within the top 25 compared to a Tennessee team that's sitting at 24 on the AP poll, and that's just because it's timely. Mama Boo, I know you're a Boo fan, but if that is true, you want him to stay in the SEC, where he has already proven that he can start for an SEC team. His NFL future is already set in stone if he can keep that starting position. Don't screw things up.
You know what I love? I love the fact that this is causing us to have to say Mama Boo like 64 times.
Oh, I love the name.
So yeah, so Mama Boo,
I'll give her that.
She goes, they are about to hate me this year because IDGAF.
Do you know what that stands for?
I know exactly what it stands for, because it means I don't give up. Yeah.
Frog.
Frog. There we go. That's it.
PG. It's a PG
but
show.
if this was Boo saying all this, it would be all over social media from what I'm saying, because never been a Vol fan. I'm a Boo fan.
Yeah. I don't think these kids can really be fans anymore. They just like a question that was always asked to my dad was, if my brother got signed by the Boston Red Sox, would my dad still support him? Tom said yes, but he said if the Yankees were playing the Red Sox, he'd be wearing the pinstripes. Of course he would. But his son's still in the MLB. Flip it over to Mama Boo.
Mama Boo.
Kid. She must not know what the SEC is all about. And I don't want to just keep blowing up the SEC, but again, your kid's a starter in the SEC. His future is practically solidified, especially with a coach like Josh Heupel, who's sent a few kids already.
Okay, so I'm genuinely curious. 256-576.
Boo.
No, 4. Yeah, boo. 4. 977. Should there also be like a class for parents? Like if their kids are going to school? Like, I'm just curious about, is this out of line? Is it not out of line? Again, she's a free woman. She can do whatever she wants to. I mean, I'm pretty sure that there's going to be some people giving her some looks in Knoxville whenever she goes to the field. She probably, like she has said, IDGAF. But I'm just curious about, is this the right path to go down for the kid?
I think that there should be opportunities out there, because we've seen it before, even with NFL pros, Patrick Mahomes' family to be specific, how to handle that type of fame that's not even yours. It's your kids, it's your brothers, how to handle that, because what you do reflects onto him. And although it hasn't really affected Patrick Mahomes too much, he's still got the 3 Super Bowls, he's got the many appearances, he's doing well for himself. But it does affect the entire reputation and the image of the family.
And with Mahomes, like, he basically had to sit his wife and his brother down and go, shut your bleeping mouths. I pay for all of this. If you want to continue to get money from me, shut up. That's what you need to do. Shut up.
Yeah.
Because now you are affecting me. You are affecting the family, and you are starting to affect everything that we're trying to build.
And do you think it would help him if he went to Colorado? If Boo Carter said, hey, I'll listen to Mama Boo. I'll head out to Colorado. Deion Sanders.
What position does Boo play?
Cornerback and wide receiver.
So
he wants to play.
He wants to play wide receiver. He is talented enough to play it. I think that is also part of the reason is Deion just got a man drafted in the top 5 that played both of those positions. Yep. B, you can also argue that he is the greatest cornerback to ever play in the NFL.
True.
So you're seeing all this as far as she is about this for, let's be honest, all she is about is trying to get her son to the NFL, which I promise you, if I get to an age where one of my kids has the ability to go professional in any sport, I'm going to be about trying to do everything I possibly can to make sure that happens.
No doubt.
Okay. So, my biggest thing is, and I can't say anything about what she's saying right now, because I'm sure that obviously I will say this to the day I die. When it comes to college athletics, we know 10% of what is actually going on inside of those walls.
I think 12.
It may even be less now because of NIL. Like, it may be like 5%.
Does Mama Boo get NIL?
And so she better be getting NIL to shut her mouth if that's what Boo is wanting. But the way that, especially with all this and how it is being treated in 2025, there is so much going on behind the scenes. And we as fans, whether it's Alabama, Auburn, whatever sport that you're a fan of, will base every single thing that you think about a said university or a said person based on one little thing. Remember, Wolverine Dan's the one that called in and called Patrick Mahomes a thug just because he watched one show about the guy. Like, you will base it on one thing that you've seen. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that does happen.
Well,
okay.
Kermit's not a thug. Come on.
First off, God, it'd be so hilarious to hear that in Muppet
I
Baby
wish
sound.
I could do his voice.
Which you can. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you come on now.
No, that's not Muppet.
No, that's Muppet.
That's not a Muppet.
So it was, the way that all of this is being portrayed, we only know like 5% of this.
Yeah.
So we don't know everything that's happening in the Tennessee athletic department about so-and-so.
Let alone the
what's going
kid's
on.
life.
Look, we just heard from, Rodak just a few moments ago. He even said something that I just went, wait a second. If we really wanted to dive deeper in there, did he hint at a player being on the second string because of more than just an injury? Like, you heard that, right? And you went, there's something to that. Like, we don't have time to dive into it because we're talking a lot about Ty Simpson right now, but that's a little something right there. With Boo Carter and everything that's went on behind the scenes at the university, we don't know everything that got him back on the field. We don't know if there was a booster that did say, hey, just letting you know, we got here's some more NIL money for you. Just letting you know if you just come on and go back in. So the reason why I say all of that is because what she's saying, that's all good. She went to Tennessee, they went to Knoxville and all this. But at some point in time, you've got to be doing what's best for the kid. Like, I know that at some point in time, I'm probably going to become a coach of my son. Mm-hmm. I know I will, just because he and I working and then me working with other kids whenever we're hanging out, like, okay, I could see myself doing this. I don't want to do it. I want to hand it off. But if you agree to hand it off, you also have to be okay with the direction things are going. And if not, there's that window that you could have made a decision on to do what you're complaining about your son is not doing. So should parents in this, because this is now that I understand you're protecting your kid and I get it, but at some point in time, you're also hurting your kid.
Mm-hmm. And in this instance, I don't think Colorado's the right move. Just going to say that. You're already starting an SEC school. I wouldn't ruin that opportunity. In WNBA news, Joe.
What in heaven's name? What? No.
The police are seeking a suspect who threw the sex toy onto the WNBA court. It hit a kid, I hear. What the heck type of news are we getting in 2025?
Why is this getting brought up?
It just caught me off guard.
Caught the kid off guard.
You know what else caught me off guard? Justin Fields with the Jets. Why do I feel like Justin Fields with the Jets is going to totally change his career? Am I wrong? Did he not look pretty good in the green and white
game?
I don't care.
It's a preseason game.
Did he not look pretty good?
So
regardless of it being the preseason or not, I'm honestly looking at the Jets and I'm thinking a little bit more than I did last year.
Hey, Brody, can you hop on a mic real fast? I have a question.
Yes. He wants to talk NASCAR.
No, there's no place on this earth that I will ever want to do that. Is everybody's Venmo public?
Not everybody's, but unless you go in directly and private it.
Got to change it.
Because Brody has been sending us what other athletes around college sports are paying for now. And he's actually going through their Venmo accounts to see what they are Venmoing people for. And apparently, Ty Simpson.
He just loves his dog, man.
No, and this was last year. This was April 21st of 2024.
I'm terrified to hear what he's going to say about this. Nothing? Okay.
First off, it says Rips Grooming. RIP''S grooming.
Okay.
So I don't know if that was like rest in peace to grooming or is his dog named Rip?
That's his dog because he's been paying for it for years. Check, yeah. And like dog sitting. Everything is
dogs named Rips. That's a good name. It's cool.
How many players have you looked through their Venmo today?
Upwards of 15.
Oh my heavens.
I was checking Malcolm Simmons to see if there was a large payment that just went through.
I did the same thing. I checked to see.
Oh my God. Oh, I just wanted to see if there's something to the Lee County Courthouse. Wanted to see.
If not Malcolm Simmons, you freeze. I'm on the.
I mean, so what players have you went through so far to check their Venmo? Because this all goes back to the John Mateer thing. So John Mateer has allegedly, there are screen grabs of him paying for sports gambling back when he was at Washington State. He's supposed to be the starting quarterback for Oklahoma. So we know that you've went through Ty Simpson's. We know that you've went through Malcolm Simmons.
I looked. Jackson Arnold does not have a public one.
Dang it.
I know. I was checking. I don't
Definitely not paying for QB lessons.
Yeah, or time, those timing routes.
Yeah, those timing routes. Which
I'm sorry. And then it doesn't have a search history on there of like who I searched, but pretty much every SEC quarterback. I bet.
So like Lenore Sellers.
Pavia has his.
Oh, that one would be an interesting one.
Let's see. Can I put? Let's see.
He's not holding back whatsoever in public, let alone.
No, he doesn't have to do anything in private. He'll do it in public for everything. I'm looking now if I just put in Ty Simpson Venmo, if like the link to his Venmo would pop up. It does not.
Is that how we related this to the dog of the week, by the way? Because he has a dog that he
does
gets groomed periodically.
And I was already so fired up about this whole Boo Carter thing that I totally forgot to pull up the intro for the dog of the week. So I will get it for the next segment. So you've looked up every quarterback in the SEC. You've looked up to see what they've done. How many have you actually been able to look at their history?
Probably 2. Most of them have gone and privated since the material.
Smart.
Yeah.
Probably in the last like 24 hours.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I'm definitely doing this. Even if it was a joke. Like, even if I sent this, eggplant emoji to this chick as a joke, I do not want anybody thinking that this is real at all. So you've gotten Ty Simpson's, and who else were you able to actually lock in on?
I need to go back through. It's been.
I know you saw Arches as well.
I did. You have Arch.
Arches is,
but I'm not sure. There's
public?
multiple Arch accounts, so I'm not sure which one is actually
because the last one we saw was a little bit
that one
wild.
That's 100% fake.
It seems like it would be.
Yeah, that's 100% fake. But he's actually in Venmo right now looking up different quarterbacks.
That's a proactive
Venmo account.
Proactive
what about
producer.
Bryce Underwood? Like, can you find anything from the Michigan quarterback? See if his Venmo is open.
Yeah, because these are outside of the SEC. Maybe they haven't seen the news yet.
Yeah, maybe the news hasn't traveled. Like it's 1924.
They don't have good service in Michigan.
No, you know who else doesn't have good service? Huntsville Utilities. Pick up the phone.
You know who has really good service? Bobcat of Huntsville.
They do.
Golly, what wonderful service they got in 2 days. No, actually, tomorrow they'll have a full line of steel products, meaning chainsaws, sawzalls, whatever else you need. That's orange.
Is a sawzall real?
Yes.
God, best I thought it was a restaurant.
You'll be able to get that over at Bobcat of Huntsville. I just wanted to do that.
Does not have one.
Smart man. He's probably a cash out guy.
He's probably a cash out guy.
Go look up Nico.
Yeah, go look up Nico's.
I'd say that over in California, they probably do something a little bit different. Maybe like pigeons or something like that. Eco-friendly.
He doesn't have one.
Are you sure? You just don't know how to spell his last name because it is hard.
I hear.
Yeah, it is difficult.
I hear he doesn't care about the money, so it makes sense that he doesn't have a cash app whatsoever.
Apparently, doesn't care about playing in front of a big crowd either because he's going to be playing in the Rose Bowl.
Oh, he cared, but that's why. That's why he left.
All right. Dog of the week is going to be coming up next, courtesy of Ty Simpson paying his Rips grooming fees.
The dog's name is Rips. Grooming.
How many people do you know is named Rip? I know one, and it was a Hulk Hogan character in No Holds Barred.
It's a dog. The dog's named Rip. Not the grooming company, I don't think. Is it the grooming company?
It's the dog.
Okay.
The dog's name is Rip.
Okay. I got to see this.
So wait, if he dies and then he would have to put on social media Rip to Rip.
I think let's
not manifest that.
It's not gonna happen, and it shouldn't happen before the season because then we don't want that in his mind. So Rip, I hope you live a very long and clean life.
Yeah, that's it. He's gonna drop back when he's playing Tennessee and look at old Smokey and be like, "What's that dog? Here you go, Boo Carter. I know your mama's not gonna be happy."
If he does end up passing during the season, just look out for the tweet that just says "Rip."
We're totally manifesting a death of a dog right here, and that's horrible. We'll be back. Let's please just end this. We'll be back on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. This is The Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com. Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com. From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
Mark and Henry McDaniel, attorneys at law, are proud alumni of Madison Academy, and Madison Academy is proud of them. They have served our community through their practice, through volunteerism and service on national, state, and local boards. They explain the complexity of critical court rulings on local media. Their successful practice has been built on integrity. Both are veterans of MA Athletics and proud sponsors of Mustang football. McDaniel and McDaniel, attorneys at law. No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
16 teams.
Yes! The Rebels recover it! It is a touchdown, Alabama!
One goal.
My goal is a national championship, to win the SEC championship, to win the national championship.
This is the battle for Atlanta.
Touchdown! Touchdown! Dogs are SEC champions!
Now through August 21st, join us each day as we preview the 2025 SEC football season. Only on your home for SEC football.
Check out the Battle for Atlanta each Saturday morning here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our workhorse special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. Due to popular demand, this offer is extended through September 30th. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
This is Steve Moulton for Tellini's Italiano. Tellini's Italiano is located right in front of the Walmart, right off of University, behind the McDonald's. More or less catty corner from Topgolf. It's one of my favorite places to go to, and if you go there, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you need to try the baked spaghetti, add a meatball. Also try the baked ziti with meat sauce, add sausage. You'll thank me. Save room for some pizzas and paninis as well. And don't forget about dessert as well. The best cheesecake I have had here in North Alabama is at Tellini's Italiano. Find out for yourself today. That's Tellini's Italiano, right off of University Drive in front of the Walmart. Located online at Tellinis.com. That's TELLINIS.com. Let's get some Tellini's tonight.
There's a lot of talk these days about who's the biggest. I'm attorney Gary Lackey. Bigger doesn't equal better.
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. We know we're not the biggest. We don't want to be.
I'm attorney Justin Lackey. We're big enough to handle your case and get you the help you need,
but small enough to welcome you, where you're never just a number. You're part of our family.
The Lackey Law Firm, 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
The Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. Weekday morning starting at 9 a.m. on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
John's doing yoga over here or something. What the heck are you doing?
I'm stretching, Joe Hunk.
Look, I'm just reading and looking over there as the music was playing. I can hear you over there going,
I'm getting ready for the final segment of the show that you guys could join into, 256-576-97.7. We were talking about Mumble Boo when you got distracted to the point where we did not do the dog of the week. And that's the whole reason why I kind of brought up Justin Fields.
Right.
Now, he's not my dog of the week, but it was suggesting towards where my dog of the week might be.
So after dog of the week, Brody has continued to do research on SEC quarterbacks and what do they pay for on Venmo. He has a did you screenshot those, by the way? Yeah, go back and screenshot just in case.
You'll get them.
Okay, just wanted to double check. Yeah, because
we'll get them.
Because a few of the descriptions we cannot say on the air, but we have found some very interesting things as far as the descriptions that some SEC quarterbacks have done in sending other people money or being sent money. As one quarterback was in the SEC. So we'll have that coming up in just a few moments before we get done with the Blitz on this Tuesday. Now, John and I last year started a segment that we call Dog of the Week.
Mark.
And the way that this works is you can join in as well, 256-576-977, where this is a way for us to talk about over the last 7 days or so, a guy that has just absolutely balled out that we want to highlight just for a little bit. It could be professional. It could be college. It could be any sport. It could be high school. Your kid could have had 3 home runs in his T-ball game, man. If he could be your dog of the week, whatever it is. But this year I've come up at least with, this is the first draft of an intro for dog of the week. Brody, if you will, please.
Hey.
First draft.
Hey.
And so now it is time for dog of the week. It's
pretty good,
John.
Joe.
See?
It's pretty impressive, Joe.
Look, if you give me an opportunity to create something, I can create things.
Just took you a whole off season
to
get
did,
it done.
Honestly, it really kind of did.
It's totally fine. I did
sidetracked.
I did be pretty impressed with Justin Fields and his performance with the New York Jets. I thought he looked smooth, and I thought there might be a future for the young 26-year-old quarterback. But my dog of the week has got to go to Jackson Dart for the New York Giants.
Why Dart?
I think he looked like the best rookie quarterback out of everybody. And I know that everybody's going to be like, oh, it's preseason. Joe, I'm looking at you. This is the first time these quarterbacks have hit an NFL field, all right? There's nerves that are going to be within it. I give them the benefit of the doubt that they're playing against guys that aren't going to be starters within the NFL, might not even make the team, but are still better than most of the competition that they saw at the college football level. And for a guy like Jackson Dart, man looked wonderful. 12 of 19, 154 yards, 1 touchdown. Beautiful touchdown, mind you. Right over the shoulder of his wide receiver, right into the end zone. I thought that Jackson Dart looked impressive. And on top of that, I think he's got a really good situation up there in New York with Jameis Winston, who's not going to start over him. as well as Russell Wilson, who might start 4 games and then get replaced with Jackson Dart. I'm just being honest.
All right, so mine is actually going to come from baseball just because I thought about doing this throughout the summer.
Okay.
We're doing dogs of the week, but we didn't. So I'm gonna bust off with one that I know that it may annoy Braves fans, but hey, you took 3 or 4 from the team the other day. The Miami Marlins, who are currently 6 games back in the NL East, much better record than what the Braves have a shortstop named Xavier Edwards. Over the last 7 days, he is batting .500. He is 14 of 28. He has 4 RBIs and 5 stolen bases. He's got an OPS over 1,000.
Wow.
And the Miami Marlins right now are in contention for a playoff spot, as crazy as that sounds, because of how much we bash them. But they are currently 6 games back of the wild card, as well as now looked at the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
They are 12 games back of the Phillies, 6 games back of the Mets.
He's got a 6-game hitting streak.
6-game hitting
He
streak.
had 4 hits against the Astros on August 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's been
14
pretty lights
of
out.
28. Xavier Edwards.
It's impressive stuff.
All right, so that's the first edition of Dog of the Week in 2025. We'll bring it back next Tuesday as well. And I'm looking at my phone now where Brody has sent us. How many pictures did you send us, man? Can you please explain? I know you can't.
You can slowly just turn that down.
Let's kill the music right now
Thank
because some people may end up in a body bag if we start saying some of these things on the air.
So can I say one and you say one?
Okay, so Brody has found.
It's just one. Oh,
it's one person.
Yeah, it's one quarterback.
Who did you just send us the pictures of? Screenshots.
Zach Calzada.
Okay.
The
Kentucky quarterback.
Auburn
Former
legend.
Auburn, yeah. Played 0 snaps.
0 snaps. I don't even know if he even stepped on the field at any point in time to hold a kick. I don't even know.
They don't register him as even a guy that played football.
Obviously Texas A&M, and now he is most likely going to be the starting quarterback for Kentucky. Brody has found his Venmo and some of the things that he has purchased over like the last 7 years. Did you go back?
Yeah,
and what all was he and Reese Mason doing with each other? Because this is what I'm talking about.
Well, he's got to update his profile picture. That's all I got to say.
His profile picture is actually Texas A&M, of him in a Texas A&M gear.
No, I mean, it's one of those apps, though, you don't care as much about when it comes to the profile pic. But the first one I got from Brody was just 3 days ago.
3 days ago.
Big Daddy Sandwich.
I actually looked up to see what a Big Daddy sandwich is. Apparently in Lexington, there's a place called Big Daddy Liquor. I don't know if they sell sandwiches.
Is it a liquor store or is it a sandwich store?
It's a liquor store. Now, there's other places around Lexington that I found that were also had like Big Daddies that was kind of outside of it that were actually like burger stores.
Oh, yeah. Aren't Big Daddies the one where the mascot, he's like that? Funko?
I actually remember who you're talking about. I cannot remember what the name of that place was.
I think it is Big Daddy.
But yeah, so that was Big Daddy. My favorite one comes from Zach Calzada. On November 19th, 2021, Drew sent Calzada a Venmo, says, "Thanks for beating Bama. Don't spend this all at once."
That's a pretty good one.
And then there's a lot of stuff with Reese that's just weird.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient,